What has the process been of integrating your returning players with a big group of newcomers while also dealing with some injuries?
Yeah. First of all, good afternoon. Um, it's been quite a process, I would say. It was kind of a seamless merge, really, in the summer. We did a lot of team bonding. We still do a lot of team bonding, just kind of expedite that process. But we just have kids that get along. I mean, when you see them, I think camaraderie off the court goes a long way on the court. And when you see them with different people all the time, different groups of people all the time. So it's not really like a cliques or, I'm only hanging out with this person. So that helps the synergy and camaraderie that we're seeing on the court. And then on the court, I think everybody has their own unique, place where they fit into our team, whether it's on both sides of the ball or one side of the ball. So I think they understand where they can be utilized and they feel like they are needed. And ultimately, everybody feels like they're loved. So I just think that our culture is thriving right now.
Talked about the versatility of the guards. How has that been able to help them build off of each other when you see there's quickness and strength and different strengths among that group? Have you seen that benefit the whole group, especially some of the newcomers in the first years?
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a lot of guards, obviously, if you look at our roster. So we have most of them are versatile, but we do have some that are better shooters than others, or some that are better defenders than others, or some that are taller than others. So they all kind of have their place and know where they can help us. But I think, guard play is huge. And if we can be deep in that spot, that's going to help us be deep this season. So I like that we have a lot of people that can stretch the defense. I like that we have 3-level scorers. I like that we have some height. And then we have some quickness when we need it too. So I just think, all the guards, they play a part. They're going to play a part in our success. And my style of play, as you know, is pretty up-tempo, so you got to be deep in that spot.
Me? Yeah. You do have a few injuries. What are maybe some of the challenges of trying to figure out a starting rotation while you have some girls that have been banged up and then some new injuries too?
Yeah, I mean, injuries suck. We got some stuff that's kind of residual from last year, and we're trying to get some of those kids back, and they'll be back. We just got to, like I say, progress is the process. We just got to stick to that process and understand that. We got some new ones, like, Paris sprained her ankle. It's nothing crazy. She'll be back in a couple of weeks, but, that's a couple of weeks. We're starting the season, and, she might miss the first couple games. So that messes up the rotation a little bit. But I think hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have just about everybody back. But I don't know. We got to see how the doctors and trainers tell us how that process is going. But like I said it last year, I said it to our team, next woman up mentality. So somebody goes down. Fortunately, we have more bodies this year than we did last year. People got to step up. I'm just happy that none of them are season-ending injuries at this point. So, just weather the storm till you get the full 14 back. But I do like our depth, and I think we have a lot of talent where people can step up.
It's a tough schedule, with some big names on there too, and ACC, of course. But do you ever feel like you have to make sure that the girls are looking at it, one game at a time instead of, kind of looking at the schedule and getting overwhelmed?
Yeah, we always do that. We got UPJ as our exhibition game, and that's the game that we're preparing for. So it doesn't matter if, who we got next or who we have on our non-conference schedule, who we play in the ACC. What matters is the next game. So that's the way you build consistency. That's the way you build championship teams. You can't look too far ahead. You just got to focus on who you're playing next, be prepared for them, and prepare for everybody the same.
You knew you needed to get size in the transfer portal, and you got that in Taylor. How important is her role going to be on both ends of the floor, but especially defensively, just being that size, that presence in the inside? Yeah,
I mean, last year our bigs were, a big part of our success, especially early. And bigs include Mir and Sam and some of them that are coming back. But Cam, second team all-conference, London Clarkson. So, we do have a lot of bigs, but yes, we were missing a little bit of size. And I think it allows Cam, Sam, London, some of them to play their natural position, which is really the 4, and we have Taylor who can back them up. So as Taylor gets more experience, I think that she's going to be good for us. She's somebody who didn't really get a lot of playing time, but she's actually pretty skilled, and she's big, she's long. Hopefully she can, back the defense up a lot. But then offensively, I think that as her confidence grows, we're going to see her score the ball too.
Your players have been going against each other all summer and then in the fall. What did the scrimmage the other day kind of show you that, if anything, that maybe you didn't know about the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to play somebody else. You know, we've been playing each other. We've been playing our scout guys. We scrimmaged our scout guys a full game. So it was just great to play somebody else, see where we are. I mean, our defense is pretty elite. You know, I love where our defense is right now. I think that, you know, we got so many guards that can really wreak havoc, you know, one-on-one, you know, guarding somebody. And our bigs are versatile, and they can do some things there. So defensively, I like where we are, and you know, we're playing the type of defense that I want to play. Offensively, we're still getting better. You know, we got to just learn each other, learn the system even more. We got a lot of new people, but we can score. You know, we got scorers, we have talent. So just continue to put everything together. But it was just great to kind of see where we were against another team, and you know, have some success that way.
One of the two of the common words that came up a lot talking to the girls just now was grit and want. Have you seen a lot of that in practice? And is that something that's coming from them, or is that something that the coaching staff has also kind of drilled in? Because when they talked about want, it was a lot of like, for some of them, it's their last season, their last go-around, and that extra drive is there. But have you seen that in practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think we practice hard. I think we're competitive. Again, having more bodies, you can be competitive. You take a day off, somebody else might outshine you that day. So you always feel like you have somebody that you're trying to beat out, which is healthy competition. I think, you know, the grit is kind of, you know, goes with our philosophy of grind now, shine later. Just focusing on the work, focusing on being better, at the things you can control, which is your energy, your effort, how hard you go. Attention to detail, things like that. You can't always control, is the ball falling in tonight, but there are a lot of things you can control, and I think that's how they've been approaching practice. And, you know, we do have some fifth-year seniors or, you know, people with the last year eligibility, so this is your last shot. You know, you gotta want it at that point, and you gotta play with that kind of urgency. So two of our captains are, you know, fifth-year seniors that this is their last go-around, so they should be kind of spearheading the urgency with the team from a leadership standpoint. And then we just have really high competitive people. Like, they just want to win. You know, we got you know, first years that just play with a high motor. They go hard, they're competitive. We have, you know, returners, we have transfers, and some of our transfers are playing with a chip on their shoulder because they didn't feel like they showcased their best game at their last school. So I think overall the team is playing with a chip on our shoulders, which is what you want. You know, we don't want to take anybody for granted, and we don't want people to take us for granted. So you just got to play with that chip.
How much can you sense, because I know like season tickets, for instance, are doing really well. How much can you sense the excitement starting to build around this program as the season gets closer?
I mean, it's great. I think the community has been showing us so much love and so much support. It's just been awesome to see. So I want to thank the fans, Wahoo Nation, near and far, because I've gotten messages from people saying they're season ticket holders and they live in another state, you know, or even another country. Somebody messaged me from Canada. So I just think it shows that, you know, people are kind of getting behind what we're trying to do. They understand the culture that myself and my staff has instilled here. They're getting behind our young ladies. They see how hard they're working. They are all great, high-character kids who carry themselves well. We've been giving back a lot in the community. So if you follow us on social media, you see that. You see us in the classrooms or children's hospitals or whatever it is, because we do want to make sure the community is a part of what we do, and we do our part, use our platform to give back. So I think all of that kind of just mixed in together has really created some excitement here in Charlottesville and also like beyond Charlottesville. So I'm just really blessed to have that much support.
How much fun is it for you to have 3 local players on your roster, and can you talk a little bit about Sam's leadership being in her final year?
Yeah, you know, we want to keep the hometown kids home. I've said that probably a million times, but sometimes it's easier said than done, and I think that we started out great. You know, I was probably hired for 2 weeks or so when Sam joined the team, so that was great. We were able to use Sam in recruiting, and she's known Mo, Kimura, and Olivia. She's known them since they were younger, and they've all worked out together and things like that. So, but they weren't like, it wasn't a package or anything. They were all 3 separate recruiting processes, and so just when we got Sam, that was great, and you know, and then we ended up getting that was great, and then it was like, we got Mo, that was great. So, you know, they understand, and they understand what it means to put that Virginia on your chest. I say that a lot, but that there's some power to that, and they know where this program has been. They understand where we're trying to get it to go and where we are currently going, and they take a lot of pride in that. It doesn't mean that other people that are from out of state don't take pride or the same kind of pride. It's just different when it's your hometown and you grew up here, especially Mo being right here, in Charlottesville. But Sam and O are about 30 minutes away, and I think that's also helped season ticket holders, our sales, and just some of the excitement because you want to see your local talent, So they bring a lot of fans with them. Which has been exciting. And I just think I'm really happy for them. I'm really happy for them. They're going to be a part of the legacy of, bringing us back to where we're the glory days where we used to be.
Is there anything you feel like you personally as a coach learned in year one that you want to implement now?
Patience. There were so many things we learned. I just talked to our players a lot about persevering through adversity, being resilient, controlling what you can control. At the end of the day, staying together because we're just stronger together. And so I think, we've worked a lot on our camaraderie and team bonding earlier probably than I have before because I know that's a big part of it. So we've grown tremendously since the first day we all got back on grounds in the summertime. And I think that we're seeing that camaraderie on and off the court, So as we're starting to play other teams and we're going to be hitting more adversity and, because everything is good until you hit adversity. So, there's the great times and everything's fun and you hit a little adversity and then it's like, what is the character of our program? What is the character of our team? So I'm just seeing the character and the culture shine, and that's what we would love to see. So I think just really paying attention to just the togetherness of the group is the biggest thing that I wanted to do a little bit earlier than last year.
Coach, what do you anticipate Mo back here?
Sorry.
What do you anticipate Mo Johnson bringing to this team immediately as a freshman?
Well, she's fun to watch. You guys are gonna love it. But she's just different. She's a three-level scorer. It's kind of a little bit beyond her years. It's almost like she's been here before. She's just one of those first years that gets it. So she has a high IQ. She can, like I said, three-level scorer. She can defend. She can rebound. I think in one of our scrimmages, she was our leading rebounder from a point guard standpoint, just buys into the system, style of play, the culture. So I think she's going to do a lot for us. And I think, her leadership is what's going to continue to grow. That's hard, being a first-year point guard. You got fifth-year seniors you're looking at, and I'm getting on you like, you got to get us organized. Same thing with Yantavon, who's only a second year. So our point guards are pretty young, both very talented, but they got to step up. You got to be able to tell some of the upperclassmen, hey, this is how we need to run things, or this is what we need to do, and do it with confidence. So both of them, I think their leadership has grown tremendously, and both really, really good talent.
And can you share what you think might be a starting five for opening night?
No, but thank you.
Odessa played for her national team for a good part of the summer and got here later than a lot of her teammates. What is her adjustment to, life in the United States been like on and off the court?
She doesn't like the food. I can tell you that much. Yeah, she's not a fan of the food. She's finding her spots here and there. That's a big deal. Food's a big deal. So I would probably say that's the biggest adjustment. But, she gets along great with her teammates, her coaches. So she really feels like she has a family away from home because she's the first in her family to really leave the country, Sweden, and family and friends. So she kind of left everything back home. So that's obviously going to be a big adjustment for anybody. And she's never done that. It's not like she was living away from home or something like that. So I think she just had to get comfortable with that, a little homesick. But she's doing great. She's a mature kid. Basketball-wise, I think, she did miss. She benefited a little bit because she was playing in high competition for her national team, but she did miss a huge maturation process with the team in the summer where we did a lot of team bonding. We started implementing the system. People started getting comfortable. So she did miss that. And being a first year, that's kind of tough. But I'm just surprised at how quickly she's picking things up. She's got a high IQ. She understands. She's a student of the game, so she's going to study stuff outside of the moment. And she's a versatile kid. So I like her physicality too, which is, a lot of times, you might look like overseas, they're more finesse at times, not all the time. I'm not just grouping them in together, but, it's a more finesse game than a power game, but she brings both to the table, and I think that's really going to help us.